Every history museum I've ever been to, I've seen a box like this.
Yeah! What are you talking about? That's awesome, dude. Whoa!
Beat, aggressive, beat, aggressive.
Beautiful!
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Shift Fire, an exploration and appreciation of all things military culture. I'm one of your hosts, Cameron Fathom, a former Army Ranger out of 2nd Ranger Battalion, and with me, as always, is the amazing, I got your drum roll,
Israel Wright, former Green Beret. It's good to be back with you folks. And today we are going to do something we like to call Lethal Antiquities. Cameron, what is Lethal Antiquities?
Lethal Antiquities is an awesome segment where we bring in a multitude of experts from different industries to include the film, military, gaming, and firearms community to pretty much provide us a mystery weapon, the origin we know not of, and we are gonna learn about it, and we are going to shoot it, most importantly.
Yes, that'll be the funnest part.
So we are super excited.
But folks, before we get started, make sure you hit that follow button to stay up with the latest with Shift Fire. That being said, let's get it on.
Let's get in it. Let's run that way.
Hey, Clay.
Welcome back.
Good
What's
to see
going
you,
on,
sir.
brother? Nice seeing you as
Thanks.
well. And this is a different site.
It
like
is.
Where's my black box?
What's
It is
going
a
on here?
different box, yeah.
This is a different box, dude.
This looks like good, strong craftsmanship right here.
Yeah, you can fit a lot of spaghetti in this thing, man. Jeez.
It's just a small Derringer. That's all it is.
Just a small,
That's it.
yeah.
Now, are you trying to throw us off the scent by bringing in a new box? Is this going to be like some modern, like, you know, Honey Badger is going to be the AR or something like that,
Yeah,
you know?
You tell me.
This is a long box. Every history museum I've ever been to, I've seen a box like this. So, you know, I'm just gonna go off the bat, and, you know, I've been wanting to shoot a musket for a while, so my money's gonna be on a musket as far as what's in this box, because I really wanna shoot one.
I hope that
I wouldn't
it's-
mind an AK either.
I hope that it's a leg that's one of those fake legs that's also like a shotgun, you know,
Okay.
that we've seen
A
in some of the
prosthetic
movies.
AR.
Yeah,
All right.
yeah.
Somebody might be close.
Oh,
All right,
okay,
with a
all
leg
right.
shotgun, baby.
All right.
You guys ready for it?
Yeah,
let's do
we're
it.
ready. That's awesome, dude.
Whoa!
It even comes with its own monopod.
I
It
can't
does.
even like. Oh my God, that looks so great.
That is awesome.
Oh man.
This is a Matchlock Musket.
A Matchlock Musket.
This is one of the very first handheld weapons that concentrate on actually aiming and firing a shot.
Big boy,
Interesting.
baby.
Yep, before this, you're basically holding a cannon under your arm and lighting it with a torch,
Yeah, this thing is sick.
right?
Oh, it's got the little lever thing. That's so cool, man.
Is that to prompt the trigger?
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
the trigger,
that's
basically.
the trigger.
That is the trigger.
Yeah.
Oh!
Oh, I got it.
So these were based, yep. These were based on the old crossbow triggers. That's how they would release the target with this big lever bar. Later they added a trigger which did the same thing.
Okay, obviously we got the trigger right here.
Right.
So there's some sort of flint or something like there.
No, there's
No.
not. So Matchlock, this is way before flints existed. We're talking early 1400s when these were developed, and then they were in modern or common use, let's call it around 1500 or so. So yeah, this predated the flintlocks by quite a bit. Somewhere
wait.
around the 1420s, these were developed originally, and they were in common use sometime around the 1500s. It's all a little loose back then. But this was really the first time that you could get a firearm in a person's hand and allow them to aim it at the same time.
Where, you know, any particular country developed these first, or are they all kind of common at the same time?
It seems like the Portuguese are probably the ones that put it together first, and they called it the sparrowhawk, or in Portuguese, the mosquito. In French, the mosquite, and in English, musket.
Oh,
So that's kind of how the etymology
like the
came.
sauce, you know, the musket sauce.
Right, yes.
Dude, just when you handed this to me, this is heavier than all shit.
Yes, it is. And,
Yeah.
and that's why the support was generally stuck in the ground in front
Yeah.
of them, and they were lined up in a row.
Oh,
This
I
was a
can
volley
see.
weapon.
You got
Yeah,
something
no,
like
sports in
here,
the
yeah.
box. So I mean, I
Oh,
know
sports in the
going
box,
back
yeah.
to, you know, newer generation muskets that had not the, what was this, the Matchlock you said?
Yep, this is the Matchlock.
But the actual primer, the black powder muskets?
Right. Well, and this was black powder as well. So following this, you'd have the wheel locks and the
Yeah.
snap-and-sys and the flint locks, which is what most people
so
are
the
calling.
flint locks, and those, I see a little wooden dowel at the end there. That
Yep.
can't come out, can it?
It does, yeah.
It does. What purpose does that serve?
So that is the ramrod. Kind of walking through the whole process of this. If you look at the lock, and that's this whole mechanism,
Yeah.
the wheel lock was the first weapon with a lock. So what happens is you'll put powder in the bore, you'll put a ball on top of that, and you'll put a wad on top of that to keep everything in place. Then you use the ramrod, make sure that's all the way down and packed down into the bottom.
I can't wait to blow a wad down this tube,
Right.
dude.
Then you've got your
That
pan.
was all completely appropriate.
It was. You've got your pan right here, which you put a lighter grain powder in, and the whole time, this little slow match is smoldering.
Yeah.
So you've got, hot,
So,
smoldering sparks near your open
Right
powder.
next
So
to your open.
it's an issue. And often they would take that out as they were loading
is
it
that
and
where
then put it
the
back.
black powder horn comes from? Or-
Yes. Yeah. They would
Would you have
powder
one of
right-
those for me, dude?
You
Right.
to pouring the powder in there with the tube.
I forgot
Exactly.
my raccoon skin hat. I'm fing up here. Damn, this thing's fing awesome, man.
Right?
I can't wait to shoot this. I mean, reading just the nomenclature on the side says ½ ounce.
Yeah. So this is actually a 72 caliber rifle.
Okay, so it says ½ ounce black powder.
Yep. That's what this manufacturer recommends as a load
I see.
size.
Okay,
Yeah.
but man.
And if you guys kick that crate open one more
Yeah,
time,
let's see
just
the,
pull it like you mean it. So there's the stanchion, but here, that's the ball.
Man.
Look at that.
And this was before the days of numbing
Yep. you get one of
agents.
those,
So
baby.
if you get one of those bad boys lodged in your or something, you're screaming.
Yeah. Yeah. This was pretty much the downfall of mounted cavalry of the knights.
Yeah.
Having a row of musketeers set up on a hillside, letting loose a volley all at once. Those balls and this velocity would punch right through the armor of the day.
Yeah, that was it, man. That was the end for him.
So could you go over just like loading? I know you
Yeah.
briefly talked about it, but could you possibly demonstrate it or something?
Yeah, so there were a couple of ways to do this. One was a pre-wrapped paper cartridge. This was pretty common on the battlefield. Inside there at the bottom, there would be one of the balls,
Yeah.
powder on top, and then just the paper. So you would tear the top off, pour the powder in, drop the ball in, and shove the whole paper down on top as a wad.
Yeah.
Once that's done, watch your face, you would prime your pan, add a little powder there, close it up for safety. Then you could put your match back in and ensure that the match was going to fall where it should. That looks good. Okay, great. Then you can put it up on your stand, take aim, and wait for the command to fire. Take your safety off, and then touch the burning slow match to the pan.
How immediate is that projectile going to leave once it's ignited?
That depends on the day.
That depends on the day.
Yeah, so black powder is hygroscopic, which means it absorbs water. So on humid days, on rainy days, bad things happen. That would start to clump up, block up your touch hole. It could be a rough day.
I hate when my touch hole gets all plugged up.
Exactly. So sometimes you would get a hang fire. You would touch off your pan and it would go flash. 1, 2, 3, 10, 50, boom!
Really?
So that hang fire is probably the worst case scenario.
I'm sure there was no like doctrine on clearing malfunctions and people lost a good hand or two trying to...
Especially with matchlocks, yeah, we've got a burning slow match here and you've got powder that you're loading at the same time. You'll notice on the stand there's a little loop up at the top. A lot of times they would pull the slow match out, loop it over their stand so it's away from them as they're loading, because they would bring the weapon back to here, prime the pan, fill everything, but they're back away a little bit from that burning pump.
Man, what a piece of history, man.
Anything off the top of your head, what have you guys used this for? Obviously period pieces, but...
Yeah, you'll see this in period pieces a lot. If you look back at the Three Musketeers with Michael York in 1974, the Man in the Iron Mask, the Three Musketeers. Historically, like, that's where the Musketeers got their name,
lot of
Louis the
Musketeers.
13th, right? But all through history, this lasted until around the 1720s, more or less. By that time, it was more or less phased out by the flintlock, which was more reliable and simpler and didn't stink and wasn't quite as dangerous as having a burning match near your
I'm
gunpowder.
sure. It's almost impossible to make the comparison to an M4 nowadays.
Right?
Yeah,
Right?
on this, but,
Well-
you know, we can reload in, experienced dudes can do like sub 2 seconds reload. How long in the hands of like a well-versed soldier of the time and period take to reload one of these?
Trained musketeer could get off 2, maybe 3 rounds a minute.
Oh, wow, that's pretty good. That's better than I thought.
Right, and remember, these were still volley weapons. They were not firing aimed shots necessarily at a specific target. There'd be a whole row of musketeers just letting loose a volley.
And just let loose a volley and pray if you're in that line that it doesn't hit you.
Right.
Yeah.
Pray it's a dry day.
Let it be Israel today, please, God.
That's like every day.
Yeah. Because I mean, modern day weapons, you legit have an explosion within your receiver, but this you kind of have an explosion within your face.
Right, yeah.
Definitely, and I know they weren't inventing M-frames back then, or sunglasses at all, so
Yeah, well,
how much is that gas hitting you in the face?
In some countries, the manual of arms, as they fired the weapon, they were taught to turn their face slightly and close their eyes as they touched the round off.
Oh, that's perfect.
So yeah, we'll
Wonderful.
definitely be wearing safety glasses. For
Yeah,
this.
I definitely want to see what it does.
Yeah.
Very loud.
There is definitely noise, but it's more of a thump than the crack of a modern smokeless powder.
Okay.
Because it's a much slower burning powder.
As far as recoil, or what do we going to experience when we shoot this thing?
Again, with black powder, it's more of a push, less of a smack. So it's going to be a slower burn. It's going to be a shove, not a punch.
Okay. I'm just thinking in my head, you know, all the VR games nowadays, like Onward, where you have to do the functions of the actual gun in VR. This would be a son of a bitch. I'm like sitting here, just fucking, yeah, you're just like, and my girlfriend's watching me in my kitchen, like VR. She's like, what game are you playing? It's like, it's not what you think. Yeah, I can't wait to shoot this thing. Let's do it. Let's go shoot it.
Cheerio. Now, gentlemen, the moment of truth.
Yes.
Who shall be the first to fire this arms?
I don't know. Let's find out.
Do you want to do it? All right, let's
Nah,
do it.
man, rock, paper, scissors. Let's do it. You
I got
ready?
a glove on, so you better be careful, man.
Okay.
Ready?
Rock, paper, scissors,
Ha!
shoot. Ooh, rock, paper, scissors,
Ha!
shoot.
Yeah.
But you gotta load it yourself.
What? Wait
Yep.
a second.
I'm not doing it for you. Off
This
you
is like
go.
a 12-minute process, man.
Have fun.
Oh, jeez.
So step one, we'll pull this out, hand it off to the side.
Okay, all right.
Okay, so we don't have the burning match
Keep that far away,
in the way. I'll have this loaded for you.
Oh, okay.
Funnel goes in there. Dump the 60 grains in.
Nice.
Hand that back. Then a ball goes on top of that.
Okay.
And then our wad.
Okay.
Then remove your ramrod. Flip it around. Drop it all the way down. This is actually a little safety mechanism so you can tell you're not double loading.
Oh, okay.
That little cap
Oh,
sits right there so
gold
you know you
dot.
don't have another round there.
Okay, cool.
Right? Tap it down a couple of times. Again, never put your hand over top of it because if it goes off while your hand's there,
There goes
this
your hand.
is better than this, right?
Yes. Stigmata.
Yep. The ramrod comes off and goes back.
It goes back in.
It goes back in because if you leave it in there and you shoot it, now you can't reload your weapon.
Ah.
So that was always the last step. Then we bring it back up, we'll open the pan,
Okay.
prime the pan, close the pan.
Close it.
Then we'll put the match back in, make sure it's closing where it should. Step up and go.
Yeah, dude, anxiety at the highest peak.
All right.
All right.
Let's do it.
How many people have been injured shooting these things?
Historically, it happened fairly often because again, you've got a burning wick right there. You've usually got powder horns on your body.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, in the Jamestown settlement, they talk about having somebody who had their powder bag explode and take out a big chunk of skin.
Nice.
Luckily, you have no powder on you, so
Well-
we're gonna avoid, excuse me?
No, it doesn't.
All right, so we'll walk you through the loading process.
Okay, all right. Dip it in there.
Yep, tip that whole thing in. Beautiful.
The ball, ladies and gentlemen. Nothing up my sleeve. This is not the illusionist.
Right.
We're really gonna fire this.
Yep, we're actually gonna use a styrofoam packing peanut. It'll seal a little bit better and it vaporizes instantly.
Any particular ways?
Nah,
Kind of crunch
just
it up.
stuff it in there. Yeah, traditionally this would be obviously paper.
Okay.
Good?
Yep.
Take your ramrod all the way up. Good, choke up on it. Take it all the way down to the bottom. Yep. Right, and give it a nice hard tap all the way down. Good.
Okay, we get it.
Take your
I
ramrod
wanted
out.
to make sure you got my point. Okay.
All right. So at this point, I'm gonna light a match over here.
So excited for you.
If you hated when your grandfather smoked cigars, you're gonna love this smell.
I'll bring back memories.
Yep. Go ahead and step up to the firing line.
All right.
All right. So go ahead and flick the pan open. Just give it a couple little pushes straight down. So you got a nice little pile of powder in there. That looks good. Close up your pan. Very good. You can hold that for me.
Yes, sir.
All right, more or less ready?
More or less.
Okay, I'm gonna place your match.
Okay.
You should be able to open your pan, take aim, and fire when you're ready.
Hey!
I'll be damned!
I got him in the shoulder, baby.
Hey, you got him.
Jolly good show, old sport.
Very well done.
Very nice job. All right, hold right there. Ready?
Oh, I am ready.
All right.
Powder goes in the hat. Jawbreaker. Literally.
Period correct wadding.
Period correct wadding. Don't move over there.
Be aggressive with it. Give it 2 or 3 good
Be
slams and you're good.
aggressive. Be aggressive.
I said don't move over there.
All right.
Continue to rebel against your king.
And then at this point, you can open that up. So you're gonna go ahead and prime your pan. Close your pan up.
Good dollop.
Yep, exactly. Close that, and they would do that. They would blow that or brush it. So when they brought the match in,
Squire, my monopod, please.
you have to deal with this every day, don't you? Oh boy.
They said celebrities were hard.
Okay. Give it a shot.
Hey-ho, Dad.
Beautiful!
Take that in your taxes. Matchlock Musket.
Matchlock Musket, baby. That was awesome.
Cool stuff, right?
Cool stuff,
Really
especially when it shoots.
Right.
Not very cool when I'm sitting there shitting my pants thinking this things can go off at any fucking second.
Right. And
But-
imagine cavalry charging down at you while that's happening.
And,
Right.
Can you give us a minute, please?
Just stop.
I got a thing.
That was so
So
much
cool.
fun, man. That was a real, like, talk about piece of history, man. It's just
Yeah.
cool just to hold it in your hands, but to think that you actually get to fire it, that was awesome. And
Yeah.
obviously, there's no like real recoil, right? You
Right.
know?
I mean, it's black powder. It's
Yeah.
slow burning, so it's more of a push, less of a snap.
Yeah, it was more like a thud
Yeah.
than anything. And I felt a little push on my shoulder and then just saw smoke.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And not exactly a Geisley trigger, right?
Yeah, not a guy through trigger on this one, yeah. Just saw smoke and heard the ting of the steel.
Yeah.
And I knew I was an expert marksman.
I was asking you earlier about the piece of like rope that have. Is that a specific kind of rope that you have that's supposed to smolder?
Yeah, traditionally they would use either hemp, cotton, or flax.
Okay.
And they would soak that in saltpeter, which is one of the base components of black powder.
Okay.
And let that dry, and then that would light but not burn. So
Like
it would smolder.
anything you could get your local Whole Foods or Arrowhead.
Exactly. Right.
Yeah, I mean, I would be like growing my butthole hair out and just twining it into a good little smolder.
You thought that stunk.
Yeah, right, wait till you do that.
Ugh.
It's like Bigfoot's dick.
Cameron's burning butthole.
Yeah.
Flint.
What year is this specific model?
This model's probably somewhere in the 1600s.
Wow.
Western Europe.
And this is a reproduction, obviously. This is
Yeah.
not, something like this would be in a museum, or maybe just you can't use it anymore because it's too dangerous
Right,
to use. You know?
right, yeah, exactly. The originals are, yeah, like you said, either in private collections, museums, and I wouldn't want to shoot an original at this point.
Yeah.
You know,
I appreciate this. It's very almost not man portable because that thing is heavy,
Right,
man.
right.
The entire system's just a f***ing heavy.
yeah. Well, and again, we think now of a modern warfighter kind of as a one-man weapon platform.
Right.
At this point, you were still working in a phalanx, you know, you were in a line with a bunch of other musketeers sending out a volley. You were more of a siege weapon than an individual
That's
fighter.
so freaking interesting, man. I mean, say a collector wanted to get his hands on one of these, how much would he be pretty much paying for one of these pieces of history?
Some of these are around $700 to $1,000
Oh, wow.
for a
Okay,
base
not
model.
bad.
Nice. I don't know if you would know anything like this, but are there any regulations that would apply to a matchlock musket?
So federally, these are not considered firearms.
Yes, we got a loophole.
State laws vary, of course. The hard part for these is getting or making the slow match.
Okay.
All right, Clay, well, thanks so much for bringing this piece of history for us to play with, man. We appreciate it a lot. If you guys want to know what Clay and his team are up to, make sure you head on over to moviegunguide.com. They're bringing some epic stuff in the Hollywood sector. Also, a special shout out to Haley Strategic Partners for providing the equipment that we are wearing on ourselves. We got the brand new badass thorax plate carrier. and all the accessories that come in different configurations. A big thank you to Travis Haley and the guys over at HSP for just being stand-up dudes. Go to www.haleystrategic.com to check out their training calendar coming up or to see what awesome equipment they provide. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. We hope you guys enjoyed it. Make sure to show some love on that like button. Get in those comments. Go crazy in the comment section. We want to know what you guys think of this Matchlock Musket and possibly ideas for other weapons in future episodes of Lethal Antiquities. That's gonna wrap it up for today's episode, man.
Thanks for joining us, folks. This is Shift Fire.
Peanuts! Get the peanuts!
Get the peanuts!
The peanuts!
Toss that in the truck.
Run away, peanuts!
I don't know what we're talking about. Like regulations. Are the regulations? Great time. You got a Daniel LaRusso look about you. You guys watch Cobra Kai?